Welcome to Withdraw Consent. I'm Victor. He's Jack. What are we talking about?
Okay, so I'm going to make the argument that alternative media is the system.
Alternative media being?
Like you go onto YouTube, Rumble, you're looking around, you're finding some people with some followers.
So anything that isn't a news channel on TV, like a...
Right. It's just like what I'm talking about are the popular shows.
Okay.
So I'm talking about Joe Rogan. I'm talking about Tim Pool. I'm talking about like just even individuals like a Styx Hexenhammer, a Kyle Kalinske, David Packard. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
And so basically what I'm trying to pitch here is that there's a psyop being run on you. If you believe CNN and Fox News, then fine, it can stop there. You're just going to take the government narrative, the system's narrative, and you're fine. Just leave you alone. But if you question those, then you go to alternative media so you can get the other side. And what I'm saying is that at the top of all these platforms, the people who are the alternative media are the system. They're just tricking you into thinking that you're going to an alternative.
Sure.
You're not. Now, my argument to prove this is that I'm not saying that the CIA operatives running Rumble and that they've gone to Tim Pool in the backroom deal and handed him a briefcase. I'm not saying that at all.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is that in order to achieve those top positions, you have to have a broad appeal to the masses.
Okay.
It could be a niche. It can be whatever, like you look at Kyle Kalinske, he's a progressive. So as a regular liberal might not be interested, but he's in the progressive niche, right? In order to get broad appeal, even in a niche, you have to say what people want to hear.
In that space.
Yeah, you cannot tell the truth because if you did, you would bleed followers.
Okay.
And basically there's this video from the Tim Dillon show where there's a kid on there who's, I don't know what he is, and he's saying that he's a Democrat and he said something bad about Hakeem Jeffries and he just started bleeding subscribers and stuff. Now, I don't know what he said, but I'm going to guess what he said was the truth. I'm just going to guess that it was true criticism. But he then wants to retract the true criticism so he can bring back the subscribers because he's going for broad appeal, not the truth. So I don't believe that a show that has broad appeal can logically have the truth because they've ditched the truth in order to grab the broad appeal. What do you think about that theory?
I think it's valid. I think that I'm totally with you with the Tim Pool and the CIA, handing them a briefcase. This isn't about that.
Right.
This is just about these people, they want to be a content creator or they want to be famous or whatever it is. And so they start, they pick a lane and they get this audience and that lane becomes your livelihood. And that becomes a thing that's important. These aren't people that are seeking the truth. And even if they happen to step out of line, because they depend on this for their livelihood, they can't go for actually trying to open their eyes and, leave their lane because then they can't eat and, they
literally cannot. Right.
Right.
And they also claim to be truth seekers though. Every one of those people that I named, they claim to be, I'm about logic, the facts, and I'm about truth.
Okay. But you also, like the conversation we've had of all these different people, you'll bring up a topic like I heard this on this channel, and how can he not see what's actually going on? You know what I mean? Like it's, even though they say the truth-seeking thing, maybe that's part of their appeal for their audience is that they're reinforcing to their audience that they're right because, hey, I'm actually looking for truth and this is what it is.
And then give you one example of that and then just close their eyes to everything else.
Yeah.
And so this is why I'm trying to pitch. I'm trying to get you, if you don't realize this yet, past that propaganda of saying they're looking for the truth.
Okay.
Like for example, like take somebody who reads super chats, right?
Okay.
Like take a Tim Pool, reads some. Styx Hexenhammer reads them all, right?
Wow.
He had promised years ago he would never be the guy who reads super chats because you can't buy your way into my attention. Yeah. He reads them all on his live show.
Okay.
And he reads he's like, okay, poopy baby diaper says, 49 says, or he'll just read whatever. He doesn't care unless it's going to get him banned. You know what I mean?
Because he's getting money.
Right. He's getting money. Put something on there about the Holocaust.
Right.
35th anniversary of it being scientifically disproven this year. 35 years, the majority of that man's life. put something on there and watch him. Watch, he won't read it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He won't think it. He won't, even if he does know it, he definitely won't say it.
Right.
Because he can't get banned.
Right.
This is how he feeds his daughter. I understand that too. But just call a spade a spade.
Yeah.
If you're not going to go all the way, it's a grift.
Right.
Right? If you're going to pull your punch, you get banned. You know what I mean?
Totally.
I know a guy I used to follow years ago on YouTube, and he's just like in a corner of BitChute now.
Okay.
And I'm not talking bad about BitChute. He's got actually good following on there. And we had this conversation, which I'm going to relay, where you were talking to me about subscriber count.
Okay. Yeah.
And you were saying that if we had 5,000 subscribers, like as an end game goal, that would be wonderful. Like 5,000 people who watch each video, who comment, who send links like, oh, but you missed this.
Like
and
actively participate.
yeah, go put a bonus clip on that video because you messed it up, loser. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That would be a huge community. We could put up billboards together. We could do collective action with 5,000 like really critically thinking human beings.
And it's 5,000 is such a large percentage of the audience that can be down with most of what we say because it isn't a huge audience.
Right. Because so many people just, they haven't got there. Or you might look at, we've had people where like they subscribe because you can tell because they leave a comment about, hey, I love this video. And then you see them unsubscribe an hour later because you flip to a different video and it's like, oh, they were telling the truth about this other thing, but I'm going to close my eyes here. It can't be, you know? So anyways, don't be tricked.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I've told the story before, but when I see people who aren't saying the truth, I'm done. I unsubscribe and I don't watch people now.
Yeah. Like, and Alex Jones is one that I've just labored over in my mind. And I've literally just called you and said, this just happened. What do you think of it? You know? Mm-hmm. And I'm sorry, that's not alternative media. That is the system talking. But Alex Jones, he's so cool. He knows all the things.
Everything.
His memories is insane. My memory is great. His makes mine look like an infant's memory. And he's going to tell you the Holocaust really happened.
Yeah. You can't look into so many things and come to that conclusion. You can't.
It's science.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I start to feel like the Holocaust is the predictor.
Oh, that's how you take the temperature and kind of figure out where they stand. That is the thing.
And if you go to pitch that to someone and they're like close-minded, like, oh, I'm not going to listen to you. Okay, cool. Well, you're not my people anyways, you know.
Right.
And then if you do pitch it to them and they're like, but I saw showers when I was a kid in high school. When I was a kid in high school, I saw the showers too. It had already been scientifically disproven. That shower at that facility that I saw the black and white video of, that specific shower had been scientifically tested and there was no, I'm going to link you to the video. Mm-hmm. You know, we got a 3-part series on it. It's just insane.
Yeah.
And then in Alex Jones, I just don't buy that he's looked at everything in the world, you know? Right. Whether Chinese are mutating people and the frogs and all the things.
And vampire families. I mean, he goes crazy stuff, but Holocaust, no.
Right. He knows.
Right. But he's got his business and...
Right. And so you can find an alternative media. We are an alternative media because we're telling stuff that just... You could tell if people are telling stuff that they know is just going to bleed subscribers,
right? Then
they're just going for the truth.
Yeah,
they're not going for a big subscriber count, not asking for your money. So there are a lot of small content creators. The problem is you're not going to find them very often.
It's tough, right?
And if you do find them and you subscribe to them, which I encourage you to do right now, you've got to go back into your subscriptions and go find them because they won't come up on your algorithm. I found this kind of abhorrent guy this last week, and he is the most progressive person I've ever seen, and he's long-haired and he's foul-mouthed and I'm sitting here watching him, you know, because I wanted to know just the contents of the video was related to something with Crowder, you know, and I was just listening for his take on it. And I just kept smiling as I watched it. I'm like, man, I like this dude so much. He just tells the truth. I don't agree with you on practically anything.
Yeah. And
I subscribe to him. Do you know how many of his other videos I've watched?
0?
Because they haven't come up on my feed. You got to click on the subscriptions to go find them, which I will do in the upcoming week because I want to see his takes. Maybe I'll unsubscribe. You know, be one of those little rage quit on hide your shoe. But you know, I'm just saying you've got to go out and search for alternative media. Alternative media is not going to pop up on your phone or your computer.
Totally.
You have to go search for it, and then you have to stay with it. And
Yeah, these other sites, it makes you wonder if it's intentional that you can't find the things that you're looking for. Like, you send me a link to some documentary, something we're going to cover, and then I just look at everything that's recommended because I'm like, oh, this was a cool video. Like, what other kind of stuff is there? And I clicked on a couple, and they're just garbage. It's just not put together good, or it's tough to find stuff.
It is tough to find stuff. On a separate subject,
Oh, okay.
I feel like with that algorithm thing, I feel like it's intentional.
Okay.
It's fully intentional because there's no way that they're doing AI and stuff. If the AI is as smart as the algorithm, AI will never work. They're spending all this money for absolutely no purpose. Sorry, the
Right.
technology is so much better than their algorithms. They're intentionally being manipulated
Yeah.
and even like I subscribe to some political stuff and then I subscribe to some just fun stuff like Screen Rant,
Yeah, totally.
But you can watch a political video,
Yeah.
and then your suggestions are like all Screen Rants.
Right.
Or all that one Jewish Ukrainian guy whose talk show I can't remember. Anyways, I'm just saying though, like it's not realistic.
Right.
They're not even trying to search for stuff related to your thing.
Yeah. Right. I completely agree with you.
Oh, I want to give my exception to this.
Okay.
Of the big creators, I got one exception,
Okay.
and you're not going to be able to comment on this because you never watch him, even though I tell you to. Jimmy Dore.
Well, I mean, I've watched a video.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well done.
It was good.
Of the millions. Yeah. Okay. So Jimmy Dore, I'm not making the claim that he's not alternate media.
You're not making the claim that he's not.
I'm not confirming that he is or not.
Okay.
I'm just saying you look at him and you see this guy, and I'm not sure if he's ever been exposed to Holocaust. You know what I mean? Facts, we'll say. But you'll see him just change his views radically. And he's an older fella. It's hard to change your views when you get older. And he'll just radically do a 180 and say, oh, I was wrong about all the videos on that. Because this is now.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I recommend him. Problem is, he focuses on just a few things.
Okay.
So if you're interested in anti-war, if you're interested in medical procedure related side effects and stuff, he's you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But then you got to hit all the topics.
All right.
Now go tell us about the Abraham Accords or just whatever you're gonna, something. Well, actually, he does cover that kind of stuff, but not the way we do.
Okay. Gotcha.
Okay. So good.
Okay. What do you think? Do you think any of these people are actually truth seekers, or are they all just full of it and just trying to make a living? Do you know any good creators that we should be looking at? Any good content, whether it's agrees with us or not, just people who you honestly believe are searching for answers?
Yeah, put a comment. I will go and look at them if you do.
And we'd love to hear from you, and hope to see you next time.